Welcome everyone to season 4, episode 28 of Oz Media's Motivate Me 313 podcast. Today's topic, Yusuf, it's the air horn topic. So please start us off with the thing that you're going to be hearing throughout the whole show today, inshallah. Today's topic is Finding the One, a Muslim man's guide to marriage expectations. Yes, that's right. We have 3 guys here who, by the way, are all family of mine, who I am looking forward to talk to because I feel like we are afraid to have these discussions for some reason. And it's always in the back of everyone's mind, obviously, when they become of age and whenever they are ready to get married. We don't want to talk about boyfriend, girlfriends. We want to talk about, hey, what is your expectation for your future spouse? And when I thought about having this episode, I originally thought, I could just reach out to anyone and have them on the show. But then I thought about it, us as Muslims, this is a very serious conversation. I mean, for anybody, realistically, marriage should be a very serious conversation. And I thought, you know what, for the first episode that we do this, why not have family here? I know all 3 of these guys. I'll vouch for all 3 of these guys as well, by the way. But this is not a joking, playing around kind of thing. We will laugh. We'll have a great time. Like I said, there's going to be an air horn episode. So, I'm going to mess with these guys a little bit. But all jokes aside, I do know their families. These are all 3 guys, inshallah, that do plan on getting married, within the next year or 2 or 3. And so if there is a future person that is looking into this situation and say, like, you know what, I really like this guy's answers, you can reach out to their families. You can reach out to me this time around. Just this time around, you can reach out to Oz Media and I can be the middleman because I do know their fathers. I do know their families. And, we can make it happen. I'm starting off the show by saying this because I don't want people to think that we're here just to have fun. No, we're here to make an impact, inshallah, on their lives. Even if nothing comes of it, having the conversation is a step forward because their answers may be related to a bunch of other people's answers. So with that said, let me go ahead and introduce the people in the building. Starting off in the back, got little big bro Yusuf T on the 1s and 2s. To the right of me, El Sheikh, El Imam, Hamza Tabu. Hey, shout out to Big Hams. 20 years old, gotta mention age. I'm gonna throw out ages out there for y'all so that y'all know. All right, so Big Hams, little cuzzo, 20 years old. Of course, you got myself Omar T. To the I'm married, by the way. Alhamdulillah, happily married too. To the left of me, you got Cal Trey, who is 22 years old. Shout out to my boy Khaled, taking his dad's Tony's seat. So shout out to Tony from the Fantasy Guys. He's sitting on the same seat, same spot. So shout out to Khaled, Cal Trey. I mean, I know a lot of y'all know about Cal Trey. And then next to Cal Trey is the other little cuzzo. We got Malek, Husain in the building today, 19 years old. They're going to tell a little bit more about themselves and talk about themselves to start off the show. But I just wanted to introduce all of them. So that's what we have today. We have Hamza, we got Khaled, we got Malek. Shout out to the cuzzos, all 3 of them. We appreciate them from coming out today. And even doing this show, honestly, it does take a little bit of confidence that you may need. And then it takes, the courage, definitely courage. So before we do that, be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple and Spotify podcasts, all under Oz Media. You can find all those platforms on our website at ozmedia313.com. Shout out to our sponsors, Hanley International Academy, Holy Bowly, Wingfellas, Juice Box, Malek Kebab, Jebel Coffee House, and Royal Kebab. We appreciate them and all their support. So Yusuf, let's start off with Jebel Coffee House, and then we'll keep things rolling. So shout out to Jebel Coffee House. Jebel Coffee House offers all of their customers an elevated coffee experience. If you stop by any of their locations, you will see a coffee house with a luxurious design, innovative spaces to meet with your friends, as well as exceptional service. They offer the best premium Yemeni coffee and quality crafted drinks. You can try their fan favorite, the Adeni tea, iced Jebel latte, or any of their refreshers and matchas. Also, don't forget to add one of their delicious pastries or desserts to go with your drinks, which we guarantee will satisfy that sweet tooth. They currently have a location in West Dearborn, with locations coming to North Carolina, Illinois, Florida, Ontario, and California. You can visit their website at jebelcoffeehouse.com or download the Jebel app, available on all your smartphone devices. All right, we're officially back. So, with that said, let me first of all let these guys tell a little bit about themselves. Malek, Husain, we're gonna start off with you from left to right. So, shout out to Big Malik, Malek. I'm sorry. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You know, what do you do? Where are you at currently in life? You know what I'm saying?
So my name is Malek Husain. I'm an undergrad at
What school?
University of Michigan. And-
Choo-choo-choo-choo-choo-choo.
Hey, go blue, go blue. You know?
You could have just stopped there, but nah, hey, Allah Zaid, it's all right.
I'm 19 years old.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all about me.
There you go.
Love
there you
sports, football.
Love sports and football. All right. Shout out to Malek. Good guy right here, by the way. They're not going to say, how they are as a person. That's why I'm here. Very good. Three young men, man. MashaAllah, Allah Mubarak. When I say good, I mean well-mannered. They know what their expectation is as it again. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to these three young men right here. Great families that, raised them really well. Cal, Trey, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Everybody knows it from Cornet, right? But I had to get traded.
Team Grubbin.
And then now I work at Grubbin,
Yeah.
helping out my dad. He needs me right now, so gotta help him.
There you go. So basically, he works full time at his dad's restaurant. That's Cal Trey, 22 years
Thanks.
old. And shout out to my man Cal Trey. And then we got Hamza T. That boy came in wearing a thobe and a mashadda. Qahu gahez. All right, Hamza T, tell us a little bit about yourself, my brother.
Man, like what Ahmad introduced me with, my name's Hamza Thabit. I'm 20 years old. I just finished I just got my associates in college, Wayne State University. Shout out to Wayne State. I'm also a future business analyst, striving for my great future, inshallah.
Inshallah, man. Shout out to Hamza T. It's always good to sit down with these young fellas, man. I've seen these guys all grow from when they were, little till now. And so it's nice to have these conversations. It's just nice to be around them every now and then because life gets very busy. So we're going to start it off. Yusuf, first air horn. Please pop off that air horn right quick, all right? We ain't even going to play games. We ain't even, how you do a workout, they tell you to start off by stretching. We ain't even stretching. All right? We're going straight into this, okay? What are the key qualities you look for in a potential wife? So we already started off with Malek Khalid. We're going to let you start off this one. What are the key qualities you look for in a potential wife?
Obviously, you gotta take care of me, take care of the kids, take care of herself, be nice, be respectful, like what everybody looks for. And you gotta have a good communication with me and her and my parents.
Choo! Woo! I love these answers.
He was
man.
ready. He was ready.
Hey, he was ready.
He was
man.
ready.
Cal Trey usually gives you about 2-3 words. I'm also he's trying to get married. I'm telling y'all right now, he's trying to get married. He did his research, man. He's been studying for a week. Great answer though, Khalid. Respectable answer, by the way. To a not so respectable answer, Hamza. No, I'm just messing around, man. Hamza. Hey, I'm gonna mess with this guy all day. Hamza T, talk to us, man. What are the key qualities you look for in a potential wife?
Listen, man, this is a really great question.
Thank you.
It's a question that, it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And, main qualities that I look for in a future spouse is one of the biggest things is modesty. Modesty is really important, especially in, Islam as well. They teach, Islam teaches modesty. And for women, you must be modest. And it's not just modest with what you wear. It's also modest with what you say and how you show off yourself in public. And when you talk to people, like, how are you talking loudly? Are you being calm? It's just, modesty isn't just what you wear. It's everything in general.
MashaAllah alaik.
So modesty is one of the main things.
One, do you have more or do you want to just save it for the rest of the show?
The rest of the show has,
Okay. Your answers.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I just want to just quickly before Malek, you say your answer. When it was time for me, I felt like it was time to get married. I told my sisters, that's what we kind of do as Muslims. We kind of tell our sisters, all right, I was like, listen, I need a woman that can cook and clean and smell like onion rings. Okay, that's all. That was my line. Just kidding, by the way. That's actually a rap song. I know you guys don't know it because y'all young, but people will laugh at that when I pull that as a clip as well. Shout out to Malek Husain. All right, what is your potential or key qualities you look for in a potential wife?
So for me, it starts out with deen.
Nice.
I want a woman who fears Allah, prays and makes me better spiritually.
Nice.
That's a blessing right there,
Yeah.
And it's hard to find. But other than that, respect and loyalty are key too. I want a woman that respects me in disagreements or arguments. I know arguments are the weakest in a relationship, and it takes you down too. So, respect and also loyalty. I want her to be loyal through thick and thin. And yeah, and then there's also other, more than that, but like,
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we get
Hey, listen. First of all, I want to say you guys had some very good answers. Very good answers. I think a lot of men should, look for those kind of qualities in women. And to be honest with you, your answers, women should be looking at for men too. You know what I'm saying? So it's a vice versa kind of thing. And that's the one thing that I am here to talk about is, when we have these conversations, let's not forget that it's a 50-50 kind of thing in terms of what you bring to the table, in terms of what you offer as in a marriage. It's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? It's not a one-way street. You can't expect your wife to show you loyalty or respect, and you're not showing it to them.
Right.
So I'm just throwing that out there. I know these guys are great young men right here, but I'm just throwing it out there for anyone that's listening. So what great answers. That right there was already a clip, I feel like, right there, mashallah, because it was some very good answers. Not the ones that we want Hamza to do, because we want Hamza, no, I'm just messing around, Hams. We want you to be yourself. All right, so Hams, you're going to start off this one. Can you discuss the role of family expectations in your search of a spouse?
Yes, so family expectations, it's another big thing. Respecting each other's families, because you're not just marrying one another. You're also marrying into the families as well.
Can I stop you right there?
Yes, sir.
What if your wife doesn't have a good relationship with your family?
With my family?
Yeah.
If she doesn't have a good relationship?
Because some people say, I'm not marrying your family, I'm marrying you. That's their mindsets.
Well, okay, a good relationship, there's to an extent, if you have like a good relationship is like, taking care of my family, just seeing them frequently. That's not really something that I need, as long as just you're respecting them. They call you, they say what's up, and just be nice to each other, respect each other. Respect is one of the most important things with my family and her as well. And it should be vice versa. Even the men should respect her family, even though you wouldn't want to go, fully in depth into that. Just be high by, and at least be respectful with it. So,
I like that.
Yeah.
On Eid, go salam.
Yeah, it's the simple thing.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't got to be with them 24/7. It could be a high by situations, as long as there's mutual respect. Yeah.
I got the right people to start off this show, man. I'm not, this is good, man. Malek, to you, can you discuss the role of family expectations in your search for a spouse?
Man, family plays a big role. I feel like, we both have to stay connected, both sides of family. Visit her family on a regular basis, once a week. Visit my side of the family, once a week. Just, stay connected. That's a big role. And I think that's very important into getting a healthy relationship. Like, stay, connected.
Okay. And going to you now, Khalid, what do you have to say when it comes down to the role of family expectations in your search for a spouse?
For me, I'm gonna have a good relationship with my mother-in-law and my father-in-law. Because I have to treat them like how I treat my parents. Because I'm marrying their daughters. It's not like I'm marrying their cousin. That's their daughter. So I gotta treat them like I would treat, anybody would treat their own wives. So inshallah, I'm gonna have a good relationship with them, and same goes to my wife. I want her to have a good relationship with my parents and my siblings.
Love that. And so I'm just gonna chime in. I'm gonna try to chime in on every question and just share my quick 2 cents. The relationship that you have with your spouse's family is one of the most underrated things in a marriage. You need to do your best. I know you don't have to be best friends, like they all said, but have respect for your family's spouses and your spouse's family, because it will just make your life so much easier. Even if you've had bad run-ins, first of all, you should never have a bad relationship with anyone. It could even be a stranger. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. Move on. That's what we're taught as Muslims. Leave an impact, leave a positive impact, and keep going, okay? You can't run away from your spouse's family. They will always be there. So why not have that good relationship with them? You got to respect one another, even if you don't hang out with them, even if you see them just once a month, not even once a week. Once a month, once every 6 months. It doesn't even matter as long as you're checking in with them. Sometimes I don't see... One thing that I do that I know my spouse's family loves is every Gum'ah I call them. Like, you guys don't know how important that is to them. And to be honest with you, it's for anyone. And you're just checking in. And you know, it means a lot. And it means a lot to me that it means a lot to them. You know, and it's the right thing to do. And then just to make sure that, you know, we still have a good relationship. I probably don't see Uncle Shoop maybe once every month. You know, when I drop off the girls and stuff or something like that, I see him salam. Like, when do we ever really sit down? It's not that much. But what I do every week is I check in and I call just to salam alayhim and say Gum'an baraka. And that's it. Literally, sometimes the conversation is 30 seconds. You know, we just salam, how are you? Good, everything? Yeah, all right, ma'a salama. So, you know, I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I'm telling you, it's one of the most underrated things is your relationship with your spouse's spouse's family. So just throwing that off there. So going from that back to you, Malek, how much do you think?
Oh,
I ain't even read the question yet. Air horn, Yusuf. The M word. The M word.
the headaches.
I already know what it is.
How much do you think Mahr should be for a potential wife? Now listen, be realistic.
I'll be realistic.
Okay.
I think men should be balanced. You know, let's start off with saying that women, what do they use their men for? You know, they buy
Gold.
Gold, exactly. So, and we all know that gold has increased in value. Am I right?
Yeah.
Inflation, and once inflation, hits, don't be surprised that med is gonna go up as well. You know.
Yeah.
So I still think that it should be balanced out. You know, look at the man's, where he's, standing, and support him, and just like be balanced out with him. Just like.
So you don't want to throw out a number? I mean, you don't have to, but that's a good answer. It's a respectable answer. Do you want to throw out a number or no? You don't have to throw out. You know what? Because you're right. Your answer was right because it all depends on situation. It does. You know, the man's situation, the woman's situation. So it does matter about situation, but be balanced because you hear stories now that balance word is not happening. You know, so that's why it's easy for us to say be balanced as the guys, but it's not easy.
If you have love and commitment, then men should reflect on that.
Yeah. Ain't no such thing as that when it comes to Mahr, man.
Right.
Mahr is, I mean, it's a very sensitive topic, but it's one that we got to discuss at the end of the day. So Khalid, what do you how much should Mahr be, or how much do you think Mahr should be for a potential wife?
Depends on what Malek said, how they are in life, how physical, like what they do, how much money they make. For me, I think it should be, everybody asks for 50, at least 40.
Damn.
Why?
Damn.
Why? It's the gold, right? It's that belt that they want. That belt alone is like 20K maybe more.
I mean, yeah, it's 15,
Yeah.
20, yeah, 10, 15.
And they pay for the dress, for the, whatever she needs for.
Yeah,
to
we're
get
just talking.
ready.
Think about it. We're just talking Mahr. The dress, the
Yeah,
the
it's not all about gold.
The hall, all that
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. That's
is
why it's
separate. You know what I'm saying? The Mahr is just the Mahr. So
Yep.
you're saying 50 is a fair number, or
I
is that
mean,
what they're
that's-
asking for?
That's what they ask for. People be asking for 40, 50. One of
Okay.
my friends, he just got married in June, like last year, June. They told him 30,
Okay, so what do you think is a fair number? If you were to put a fair number,
15, 20.
It's hard to find.
yeah, don't say don't care. We're gonna have to cut this out. I'm trying to look out for you, Caltrey.
It's all good.
No, I was messing with you, man. I mean, listen, it's his opinion. I'm not saying that is what he's gonna pay. He's just saying what he thinks should happen. All right. Shout out to Caltrey. Hamza T. Talk to me. Hamza T's already dizzy, dog. He's been working his whole life for this moment, right? Hamza, talk.
Man, so Mahr, man, another big topic right there. But let me throw something out real quick. For the people that are asking for high amounts of Mahr, let's say 50, 75, some say 100K.
Yeah.
Are you really worthy of the 100K though?
Oh,
Oh,
Hold on, let me speak.
word is it's a big
What?
word. Hamza.
Okay, what qualities, since the guy is essentially giving you money so he could get married to you, what qualities are you providing for you to be worthy of 100K? That's one thing. Number two is, if you're gonna get married at a young age, 21, 22, 23, is a man gonna have 100K just like that just to give? You know what I'm saying? You have to look at the man's situation, what he works. Like, bro, not everybody's Bill Gates. Not everybody has money. Not everybody was born into a wealthy family. You have to look at their background, like what Malek and Khalid said. Look at how much they're making and adjust upon that. And of course, every year, Mahr is always increasing in prices. It starts from 30, 35. It started from 10, 15, 20, 25. But honestly, the simplest Mahr should honestly be, like the Prophet, like what he stated, the simpler the Mahr, the more blessings that you have. And it's also a study that's happening right now. The people that pay more for Mahr, they end up divorcing at a higher rate. And the people that pay less for Mahr end up staying together and are better spiritually and connected. And also, when you're asking for a high amount, it's not really right because, men are trying to get married at a day and age, and it's causing fitna. It's causing us to, delay marriage, and we're not supposed to delay marriage. It's half of our deen. If you're making it harder on us, that's not right. And also, eventually you'll be getting a lot more than money in marriage. You'll get a lot more in essence. You'll get love. You'll get treated correctly. You'll get a house. You'll get everything you wanted. You know what I'm saying? So that's my answer.
Hey, give him a round of applause, man. I'm not going to lie to you, man. Listen. What a great answer. Well, I'm not going to lie to you guys. So far, this has been my favorite episode of the year. Because I'm so proud of what you guys are saying, and this is a very important topic, and this is exactly how I wanted it to go. And you guys are saying some very good answers, and it's fun. That's the biggest thing, too. Now, let me just share my quick 2 cents on the Mahr situation, because everybody was right in their own way. The only thing I'm going to say, Hamza, that, a lesser Mahr doesn't promise a successful marriage, but, I know what you're saying. I would just say this when it comes to Mahr. Listen, I have daughters, and I'm not gonna lie to you, obviously they're young. I don't want to think about this stuff, but I'm just saying, you as a man, you kind of have to see what's going on with other people, and for the time being, and you see what's happening, and I pray that me as a father I look for someone who just is a good insan, a good person. When that time comes. I think people have gotten away from that. Right. I think it's the first things, what do you do for a living? If this guy got money, they're going to push their daughters for marriage. And it's sad because, and then he can pay that amount that they want, by the way. It's sad because, like Hamza said, we are living in a day and age where, money is the top priority for families. And if you don't got it, marriages are being stalled or held off because of it. And it's crazy to me that we are living in this world. A lot of stuff is happening to the point where, you just shake your head. But this is one of those things. And so as parents, as families, you got to really think what's best for your daughter. Like, if they're getting married at 20, 21, 22, and you're putting the man in $100,000 hole to start off his life, what do you gain out of that situation? Your daughter is going through that same trouble that her husband or your son-in-law is going through. Don't you not understand that your daughter is living with this man who's in a $100,000 hole, who's probably trying to go to school or trying to make a living for himself, who probably just graduated, who's already probably in a $20,000, $30,000 hole, who's already struggling and is trying to make it happen, trying to be halal, trying to be doing things the right way. And again, I'm not saying that, you can't come up with a fair number like Malek was saying. All I'm saying is be reasonable. Think about your kid first. Think about what's best for them in the long run. These guys are investments too. At the end of the day, you see a great young man who's busting his tail. He's going to do whatever it takes to make his family successful. So ultimately, don't put him in a big hole. Be reasonable. Just be reasonable. That's all I have to say when it comes to Mahr. And I think that's all every man just wants to be, is just be at a reasonable situation, and be fair. So with that said, we're going to take our quick break. Believe it or not, it's our first third of the show. So let's go ahead and give a shout out to Juicebox. And after Juicebox, we'll keep things rolling. So shout out to Juicebox. If you're looking for a place with the best smoothies, milkshakes, ice cream, cereal bars, and slushies, then Juicebox is your one-stop shop. You can try things like their Biscoff or Nutella shakes, crepes, watermelon blast, strawberry burst, or mango smoothies. Juicebox currently has 4 locations: Hamtramck, Dearborn, Detroit, and Trenton. So be sure to stop by Juicebox and get ready to leave there with a big smile on your face. You can also visit their website at juiceboxblend.com or download their app at juiceboxblend.appfront.app. All right, so moving on. Who started that last one? You think, Malek?
I did,
yeah. All right, so Caltrey. What are some common misconceptions people have about Muslim men, about what Muslim men want in a marriage? So, what is something that you always hear, maybe even from, family members, the female family members from your side, that you'd be like, man, all men want this. And you'd be like, that's not true. Like, what's something that you'd be like, that's not true. We want this, not that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's something that people like think that men want, but that's not true? Like, anything you got in your top of your head?
Now, for me, I just want, like, some people, they want stay like a housewife, right?
Yeah.
Everybody does, but it's okay if they drive. Like, for me, it's okay if she goes to school, works, and, like, drives. But yeah,
What's Hamza doing?
I was gonna say something like it's to the extent, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Your turn gonna come, Hamza. Man, I ain't finished, dog.
I mean, I don't, like, if she says, oh, can I open a business? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm a help her open, but, it's better for her to stay at home, to stay away from trouble, cheating, stuff like that. And then, yeah, that's what I can say about that.
That's a good answer. So basically, a common misconception is that a lot of Muslim men want their women to stay at home, and you're saying that no, it's okay for my wife to go out and work and go to school and do stuff like that. Okay. Hamza T was already he couldn't even sit still.
Oh, man,
He's about to
He
attack
couldn't
me.
even sit
Oh,
still
what?
on the seat right here.
Hamza's about to cancel me.
Hamza, he about to cancel himself right now. Hamza T, what are some common misconceptions people have about Muslim men about what Muslim men want in a marriage? First of all, address the Khalid situation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he said he doesn't mind his wife driving and attending school and all that sorts. And I agree, but to the extent, driving, where is she gonna drive? If it's to her family's house, okay. If it's to get something real quick from like a store that she needs for the house, okay, go ahead. But let's say she wants to go out with her friends in public, you know what I'm saying? And it just depends on where the location is. There's a lot of Arabs there. How are you dressing? Are you dressing modest? Are you, wearing makeup? Are you putting perfume on? And those things, I cannot tolerate in marriage. And
It's good.
Hey, come on, man.
Hey, go ahead, continue. Sorry, we have Ramsey in the back, young fella. He ain't ready for marriage. That's why he's laughing.
You ain't ready, little boy.
So he got Hamza laughing. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, continue, Hamza.
But yeah, so it's to an extent. But, like that stuff, I agree, to an extent, like I said. But one misconception is that girls believe that a man wants a second mom. So,
Ooh,
really,
hey, put an air horn on this one. Wow.
Listen, I hear
Wow.
a lot of people say, oh, men don't want a wife. They want a second mom. And, like, I think to myself, I'm like, no, that's completely wrong. We don't want a second mom. We just want a housewife, like what Khalid said, to where, I'm working. She's taking care of the house. I provided for her. And I want her to make a home an actual home. And, it's not being a mom. It's just requirements and expectations that a woman should be upheld to. And sadly, in today's society, women are trying to become more masculine and trying to, be their own. I don't need a man in my life. I could work. I could pay my own bills. My bills are paid. You know what I'm saying? But and it's like we need to bring back that, the feminine side of women back to how it used to be.
Hey, Hamza, Thabit. Bro, I don't even think I could have brought people that are going to say better answers than you got. Yusuf, you want to share an answer too, Yusuf? Oh, move on from him or what? What do you say right now?
If I was on the show, I would have countered him.
Whoa.
Put the mic on, Yusuf.
Put the mic. Put the mic.
Man, put
Put
the
the
mic
mic.
Put the mic. Put the mic on, man. Say what you got to say. All right. So, Malek, first of all, man, that was a lot, Hamza. I want to counter. I don't want to sit here for 30 minutes almost to discuss some of the stuff. Listen, okay, whatever. Let Malek say his answer because then I'm going to share my final thoughts. What are some common misconceptions people have about what Muslim men want in a marriage?
So people assume nowadays that men are strict, towards their wives, especially in, Muslim men. And I disagree. I feel like, Muslim men are trying to protect their wives, especially from the outside. Just because, I ask you to cover up doesn't mean, I'm being strict. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm myself, Islamically speaking, I want you to cover up because I don't want people to see you. You know,
Ghira, you know what I'm saying? Jealousy.
you know, I'm telling you, man. Like people, like men are, wahush, you know what I'm saying? Like they want, like to like they scout her, you know, and see other women. Like just because I tell you to cover up, like I'm telling you to cover up because I want to protect you, you know, as a man. And I feel like people, you know, they see that as, you know, being strict, and like I disagree. So,
I love that. I mean, that's another great answer, man. Very way to approach this question as well, guys. Y'all had different answers in different ways. The only thing I'm gonna say is this. I know this was more so of a man situation. Is remember, it's also what you bring to the table. Okay, you can't forget that. You can't have these situations and then you're not doing your part as the man. You know, Hamza, you mentioned some stuff that again, hey, I don't think it's unreasonable what you asked for or what you expect. But I also want you to know that it's the same goes for you.
Of course.
And you know, and so you have to understand that it goes both ways. You know, do your role, do their role. You're gonna be a happy couple. You're gonna be a happy marriage. You know what I mean? You're gonna be happy. You know, happy house. So that's all I'm gonna say off of that. Is just, you know, make sure that y'all understand that everything you mention to them, they should have a counter that their expectation for you. You know, so if you have 10 expectations for them, you know, I'm just throwing out a number. They should have 10 expectations for you. And so I just want to throw that out there.
Let me answer that real quick. Yeah, so no, I completely agree with what you said. You know, I'm expecting such and such and such from my wife. But in order for me to get such and such and such, I have to be as well as what I asked for. I have to reciprocate the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's from the good men are from good women, and bad men are for bad women. So you get what you are. You know, you have to, if you want a perfect wife, you have to be perfect yourself. And everybody got to strive to be perfect. So.
But I just want to throw this out there too, Hamza. I know we had this discussion, but there's no such thing as perfect. I just want to throw that out there. You can't have perfect expectations. And that's another thing I'm going to just mention right now. I don't know where I'm not even going to lie to you guys, man. I send these guys the questions. I don't even look at them until I start asking them right now. But I'm going to throw this out there too, is that you as a man and as a woman that are looking for a potential spouse can't expect perfect. There is going to be something that you don't agree with, but that's why you get to know one another and you build that respect for one another to where that person might stop doing that thing that irks your nerve. Or they should probably stop doing that thing that irks your nerve, because obviously you want a happy life. You know, you want to be content. You want to be satisfied and happy that the person that you have, you're going to live with them for the rest of your life, inshallah. So going into a marriage, don't expect anyone to be perfect. That's not going to happen. Don't expect anyone to be viewed, you know, as this angel in your front of you that's gonna meet all the requirements that you have. That's another big issue that's happening in our community, is that a lot of people are like, oh, you know what, no, they're too short, you know, or they don't got a good job, they don't pay enough, you know, blah blah blah. Like we're allowing little minor things stopping people from getting married and stopping people from completing half their deen just because you can't let go of one little minor thing of a detail, while this person that you just declined is literally a great Muslim or a great human being, you know? So just throwing that out there, man. You know, when you are looking for a spouse, I'm not telling you to lower your expectations. All I'm telling you is no one's going to be perfect. Always remember that.
Compromise.
Compromise. Yeah. Thank you. What role does faith play in your criteria for a life partner, Hamza?
Yeah, so I was going to include that in the first question, but since I saw this question, I'm like, you know, it's a whole own question.
Okay.
So, no, faith is the most important thing, like what Malek said. Without faith, there's no guidelines. Without, you know, guidelines, we'll be lost. And faith, like I said, it's the most important. Like, it's literally the guidelines to life. Everything you do is written for you. Everything has been written for you 1,400 years ago plus, and just faith in general. If you're not faithful, you won't get a faithful partner as well. Like I said, you know, good people belong to the good men. Good wife belongs to a good husband. So, you know, faith is important. You know, you got to be on your prayers. You got to be on the deen. You have to also be a teacher to our future kids as well. You know, that's really important. We have to grow up in a Islamic household so our kids can learn, and so they could also spread on that knowledge as well and learn, and they'll grow up to a person that we all will strive for to be. So faith is important, man.
Good answer. Malek, to you, what role does faith play in your criteria for a life partner?
I mean, Hamza could have said it better. I mean, great answer to that. I feel like faith is crucial, you know. Faith is the foundation to create a solid relationship. You have to, like, without, like, faith, you need to trust your spouse, I feel like men, have emotions too, And when I tell you this, men are going to be talking to their wives about everything they go through, and they're going to be surprised. And you have to have that faith because, like, a woman can't take advantage of that, especially in arguments. She can't take advantage of the things that he told her, and it's just gonna ruin your relationship. It's not worth it. So you gotta control that, and faith plays a big role. And you have to trust each other.
I love that. Another great answer. Khaled, same thing to you. Faith. What role does faith play in your criteria for a life?
It's a big deal, okay? I'm not like, how would coaches have faith in their players, like in crunch time, like going down to score or anything like that. Just like marriage, you gotta have faith in your wife, and she has to have faith in you for it to work out and have a successful life and everything that goes on. When Malek said about the arguments and stuff, do not tell your in-laws. You know why?
I don't know.
You know why? Because, okay, me and her, we're good. But the parents are still going to say, like, if I did something wrong, they're going to hate me forever. Even though my wife forgave me, but they won't.
Man.
They'll remember
Can we
it,
get an air horn for this guy, Khaled? Just saying.
Beautiful answer.
That boy Khaled, mashallah alaikum, man. I ain't gonna lie. Well, I'm very proud of you guys, dog. I'm very proud of your answers. I'm not gonna lie. Like, y'all could, there's gonna be probably some girls that are gonna be like, no. Okay? These guys are actually doing a great job. Okay? I'm serious. I try to be as fair as possible in my life. I try to live my life as fair as possible. I'm not perfect. I know I've made mistakes, but I'm telling you, we have to be fair. So what Khaled just said, by the way, I mentioned in-laws are so important because you have to have a good relationship with them. Another big underestimated thing when it comes to marriages is opening your mouth about your problems to other people. It doesn't even have to be your in-laws or your mom and dad. Some girls like to talk to their friends. Some guys like to talk to their boys. That's the biggest mistake you can ever do. Let me tell you why. What Khaled just said is 100%. You can forgive one another. You will forgive one another. You typically do forgive one another. But guess what? That one person that you open their mouth to, they don't see that person every single day. They don't see your wife or your husband every single day. They see them once in a blue moon. And so guess what? When they do see them, guess what the first thing is going to be in their mind? That one thing that you decided to open your mouth about. And so they might hold that against them forever. So keep your mouth shut. Keep it in the household. Only go to someone when you feel like, hey, someone has to dakhal because the marriage is at its wit's end. Like we're close to maybe, and you need to have someone, respected person, by the way, not your friend who's going to egg you on and be like, oh, forget that dude. He ain't nothing anyways. Or, man, forget her, man. She ain't nothing. No. Go to a very respected person who is neutral. Sometimes it's not your mom and dad. You got to find a neutral person who's going to tell you were wrong or you were wrong and fix it. You need to apologize. You need to samih them. You need to forget, So it's very, very important to keep your mouth shut on all your issues. Keep them in the household. Again, big things like assault or, you're getting beat. Those are huge. Domestic violence. That happens, by the way. I don't want to run away like put it under the rug. That stuff happens. It does. And as sad as it is, believe it or not, it happens a lot in the Muslim communities. And it's not talked about. But another conversation for another day. But all I'm saying is when, best advice, stay quiet. Stay quiet. Don't tell your problems to anyone else.
Can I answer that real quick, one thing?
Yeah.
And it's not always, she'll forgive you. And for some instances, there's a certain amount of, there's a percentage of people where they get, they tell somebody their problems, right? And, persuasions do happen. Their friends or their mom will persuade them and be like, no, this is not right, this isn't that. And that will cause problems to where she won't forgive him because of what she said to her. Opinions can persuade people, and it just kills marriages. And sometimes you say things that you won't really mean because somebody else told you it. And that's it. A connection has been lost.
And going back to the faith part and how important it is in the relationship, hey, believe it or not, we have a book that guides us in every situation.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why, it's our job as the adults and as the people who are married and the husbands and the wives, it is our job to be educated because once you're educated, you'll know how to handle a specific situation once it does arise. So red flags. Okay, who did we just leave off? You started or who just? I'm not gonna lie. Oh, you started.
I think Khaled's next. Or,
I think it's back to Malek
Oh,
because
okay.
we're going like
Oh,
this.
yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
All right. So red flags. What are some red flags you look out for when considering someone for marriage, Malek?
I feel like one red flag. I'm just gonna mention one, and there's multiple, but I'm gonna mention one. One red flag, for a woman is to look better outside rather than inside. Right? Look better outside to the people, her friends, family, whatever, makeup, whatever. Like, just look good, but not inside the house where I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, that's the sunnah too.
Can we
like,
get the air horn? What are you waiting for, man? Ramsey's in the back mad at you right now, man. I know. Hey, we can hit the button the whole time while he's talking, man. No, I was messing, but go ahead.
like I said, man, like you have to look like good inside for your husband. Same goes with me. I have to look good for her, and there's a sunnah. I don't know what it is, but there's.
I want to say it if you don't know for sure because
Yeah.
not worth it.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is that look good for your husband more than you look good for the outside people.
You know what's crazy? And listen, I'm saying this without no judgment. I'm just saying this is that obviously that is the right way to go about things. I'm not saying, people are bad people for doing it the opposite of what you just said, but I'm just saying how like our life now, it's like it's about looking good going out than it is looking good inside.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Right.
Like it's very rare do you find any situation like that, so it's crazy. That's how our world has flipped. Khaled Husain,
Yes.
same question to you. What are some red flags?
What are the red flags, huh? People that don't when they go to like parties and stuff, they dress up, right? But when they go to the masjid, they just go in a shirt and a pants. They said you gotta look good when you go to the masjid because that's the house of Allah, So, sorry, Hamza.
Huh? I'm listening.
Was he being silly over here? But go ahead, continue.
Probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Do you have red flags for any woman? Like, when as a man, what are some red flags from a woman perspective? Like, when
just like what Malek said, For me, just be yourself. No makeup in the house, no makeup outside. Because they mess up their face. It's like a whole different person when they do makeup on, and it's not good.
yeah. So you're no makeup.
Yeah, I prefer no makeup.
Okay. Hamza T,
Oh,
no.
bring out the notebook, Hamza.
No.
Bring out the notebook.
Okay. I have a thing for Khaled. So he said, no makeup in the house, no makeup outside.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say she wears makeup in the house. Does that mean you want her to wear makeup?
I
outside?
said I prefer no makeup. But
Okay.
I don't mind.
Okay. But yeah, okay, so yeah, no, makeup is a big thing, like what he said. Honestly, you're not supposed to wear it in public where other men are around. The only time I'll accept makeup from my wife is either at a wedding, only girl wedding, at a party, only girls. Anything that's in the house where no men are around. Obviously, I'm the only person that she could wear makeup with, along with her dad, her brother, her mahrams. But yeah, that's more thing. But back to the question.
Red flags.
Red flag. Oh yeah, red flag. Oh yeah, red flags. The most important thing to me is character, the akhlaq. You have to have a beautiful character. Your character has to wow me, but like I said, vice versa, my character has to wow you. You know what I'm saying? Also, not being able to accept knowledge. You know what I'm saying? People are arrogant. People are ignorant, and in today's society, it's bound. People are always ignorant. Everybody has a little bit of ignorance in them, and especially let's say you say something to your wife. Oh, I don't want you wearing perfume outside. It's a haram, you're not supposed to do that. And she just doesn't accept what I say. I don't want that in a household. I want her to be able to learn. I want her to be able to accept stuff that I tell her, and vice versa. If she tells me to do something, like what Amr said, I have to do the same thing. Like, there's got to be compromise in marriage. And akhlaq, like I said, that's the number one thing, because you cannot have bad character. Bad character, you have to show good character. I just want people to look at your face. Not my wife, I'm saying. I want to, in general. People want to look at your face and be like, damn, he has good character. You could just tell by, how he shows himself off, how he, dresses and everything. Like, character is a big thing, man.
Great answers. Believe it or not, we're already 2/3 away from the show, so this is our next break. So we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to our next sponsor. And let's go ahead and give a shout out to Royal Kebab, our good friends over there, the sister company of Malek Kebab, all the same family, all the same great people. So shout out to Royal Kebab this time. Guess who's back? back again. Royal Kebab is back. Tell a friend. Yes, that is right. The restaurant that you all have been dying for to open back up is officially back operating in Hamtramck. Royal Kebab offers the same mouth-watering Middle Eastern dishes as their sister company Malek Kebab. You can order their lamb over rice, combo platters, shish platters, shawarma sandwiches or plates, fattoush and tabbouleh salads, all at the newly renovated Royal Kebab restaurant located on Kniff Street in Hamtramck, Michigan. So be sure to check out their website, royalkebab.com, before you make your next order and see why so many people have been raving about this restaurant.
Go ahead.
All right, so with that said, we are officially back. At this time of the show, it's either you guys have a lot of females mad at y'all, or, you know, I don't know. But I hope you're still watching, okay? Because we're moving on to the last third of the show, and it's still going to be some good conversations. And Hamza's rubbing his hands. Maybe he knows the questions that are coming up, because I'm not going to lie to you. I'm reading them as I go. So, Khalid, this is your time to start. How do you view the importance of communication and conflict resolution in a marriage? So, how important is communication and solving problems in a marriage?
So you gotta want your wife to come talk to you, so you can like talk like, okay, what's the benefits from this, what's not. Obviously, you know, relationship you guys can talk to is good, you know, so you guys can like work everything out by just sitting down talking. Okay, what can I do better, what you can do better, so like it can work out.
I like that. Very good answer. Hamza T, same to you. How do you view the importance of communication and conflict resolution in a marriage?
Like I said, every single topic we talked about is really important in the marriage aspect, as well as like daily life aspect as well. But communication, that's another big thing, man. This whole world, you need to be communicative. You know, you can't have what's inside your heart and keep it in your heart. But for marriage, communication is key. There's problems. We talked about it like in the last question a little bit. Problems, we should only be kept to each other unless it's a problem that is a really big problem, and that we need a sheikh to get involved, and we need his 2 cents and his knowledge. But communication, like I said, everybody needs it. If there's a problem in the house, I have to try to figure out a way to make it up to you, or if I'm mad at you, you have to try to figure out a way to make it up to me. And just communicate is key. And for problems, like I said, we all tapped into this already. Problems should not be spread within other people. It should be kept in the household. It should be solved within the household, so we're able to better trust each other and better understand each other.
Respectable answer as well, Hamza T. Like that. To you, Malek, how do you view the importance of communication and conflict resolution in a marriage?
Man, communication, I'll tell you this right now. Communication is the strongest foundation in a relationship, you know, especially during disagreements. You know, you can't wait for the other person to come up to you and talk to you like about what, you know, communicating about what you disagreed on, or the arguments, try to solve it. You have to communicate between each other. I feel like communication is, you know, fixes problems, you know. It's the foundation to having a healthy relationship.
I love what you said, because one thing I want to just say to you guys is you can't expect your partner to know what's wrong.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're not, you know, I don't want to say like whatever, but, you know, they can't predict what's going on with you, you know, and it could be anything. And, you know, it might have been you know, like you guys are mentioning about clothes, or, you know, or it might have been something that you said or something that you did that you thought that it was not that serious, but it affected your partner in a very serious manner. So again, communication is very important. It's something that is a constant work on, because some things might upset you more than others. And, you know, a lot of people shut down. And I'm speaking for myself. Sometimes I do shut down. And like I shut down, like if I get upset, I shut down because it's best for me. I don't want to say nothing wrong. And I just rather just, you know, stay quiet. It's not the right way to do things though. You know, control yourself and communicate. I think that's important in every situation. Malek, you said it's one of the most important foundations in a marriage, for sure. Because you got to be on the same page. It's like you're having a full life partner in life, right? let's say you're talking about business right now. You have a business partner, the business is running. Imagine if you and your business partner didn't communicate. You know, your business wouldn't be successful. So a marriage partner is even deeper than that. You want to have a successful marriage, you want to have a successful household, your kids to be raised correctly, communication. You got to communicate with one another through the problems, through the good, through the bad. Communication is definitely key. So that's my thoughts on that situation. Hamza T, going to you now. How can both partners work together to meet each other's expectations in a marriage? Hayakallah ya Hani. What's going on, my brother Hani? That's my brother-in-law right there. Hey, we got these young fellas talking about marriage today, man, and they're doing a great job, Hani. I just want to let you know. They're doing a great job. So Hamza T, I appreciate you, Hani. Thank you, man. Again, how can both partners work together to meet each other's expectations in a marriage?
Listen, this is important. What I'm gonna say, don't take it the wrong way. Okay.
Air horn ready, Yusuf.
Marriage is 50-50. Let me expand on that.
Hey, you gonna get people mad at you, Hamza.
Listen. Let me expand on that. 50-50 in marriage is, I believe. So when I say 50-50, I'm not meaning 50% bills her, 50% bills me. No, not 50%, I'm doing all the bills. The 50% I'm working, I'm paying the bills, I'm getting the money for the house, I'm protecting my wife, I'm protecting our house. That's my 50. Your 50 is to build upon the house, make the house a home that we're able to enjoy. I want to come home and just be welcomed. We need food. It's not a woman is not his job is not just to cook. Of course she can help, but that's one of the main jobs a woman should do for the men, especially if she's working all day. She should be cooking, cleaning, the regular necessities of a woman. That's her 50. So I believe, like I said, it's 50-50. But there's things about 50-50, not big.
You're not talking about money. You're talking about what you bring to the
I'm
table.
talking about what you bring to the table.
Yes. And I mean, listen, there's a lot of people that respect that, man. And I respect it too.
Money wise, that's what a man does.
Yeah.
You're supposed to provide.
And listen, you're supposed to provide, but I'm just throwing it out there. Shout out to the women out there who don't mind helping out and supporting the cause as well. My wife is definitely one of those people, so I want to give her a shout out because she does support the cause as well. And so, alhamdulillah for that. But at the same time, I agree with Hamza. It should be 50-50 in terms of what you bring to the table.
Yes.
Okay? Malek, same question to you. How can both partners work together to meet each other's expectations in a marriage?
So both partners can, talk to meet each other's expectations. Even, before marriage, before the wedding day, like talk to each other like after nikah, right? Is that when you start?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah, talk after nikah and like put your goals and what you expect from each other like on the table and just talk through it. So that way you can like understand like after marriage when you move in, like what you want in a relationship and just like, just be honest and don't, hold it in you.
Yep, I love that. And Khalid, to you, how can both partners work together to meet each other's expectations in a marriage?
So what Hamza said, cooking, cleaning, and stuff like that, right? One day I'll cook, one day she'll cook. I'll clean some like part of the house, she'll clean part of the house. We switch. That's how it can work out. I gotta help her, she gotta help me. If that's how she wants it, I'll do it. I don't mind helping her. I don't mind. All right, I'll take care of the kids or stuff like that. I'll do that.
I agree.
That's what I do uncle duties right now. So I babysit my niece. She's like 8 months, and I got a nephew as well, like 5. My sister's, can you take? All right, I got you. I'll do it, and then whenever she needs her back, I give it back.
You're a good guy, Khalid, man.
Facts.
I'm for real. You're very good. All these guys are great guys, man. But to wrap this question up is basically what you gotta be fair. You just gotta bring to the table what's expected. Like you said, also, Malek, I like what you said. After the nikah, you can have that conversation of, okay, this is my expectations, this is your expectations. Where can we meet in the middle? Bang, 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 bang. And then next thing y'all meet halfway with everything. So it's just important. Communication goes back to communicating, right? And just having that discussions and having that conversations beforehand, and then not just having those conversations, taking it into action. You can't talk about it. You got to be about it. So that's what it is ultimately. So going off of that, believe it or not, I'm I'm gonna ask this last question, but then I'm gonna ask you guys: is there something that we didn't cover? Because I want you guys to straight up get everything off the table that you want to get off the table. So, what advice would you give to women? This goes back to you, Malek. So you're starting this one. What advice would you give to women who are looking to understand what Muslim men seek in a marriage? So right now, you got women that are like, man, what do men actually want in a marriage? Malek.
I started it off with saying deen. I feel like you have to, the deen and like fear Allah, you have to have that in you. And I know like a lot of people don't like look into that first, but women, they need the right person. And in order to find the right person, look into his like deen. See if he like if he goes to the masjid, bro, I promise you, like if he goes to the masjid, you know, reads Quran, and you know that's a right person, a righteous person, you know. And I feel like is gonna be a healthy relationship at the end, you know.
Yeah, good, great response. Go ahead and give him a round of applause. Shout out to Malek, my man over here, sniping right now. What advice would you give to women who are looking to understand what a Muslim man seeks in a marriage?
So like what I said before, respect, you know, how to take care of everybody, and the deen. If he prays, if he goes to the masjid, if he gives donations, if he does that, because there's people that I know that they don't do that.
Yeah,
like they don't pray. I'm like, come on, man, like why? So yeah, just look at like if he's nice, if he's respectful, if he has a good heart, has, you know, good deen and everything, and if he's a good man, what he does, good and bad. So yeah, that's what I got.
All right, great job. Give him a round of applause. Shout out to Caltrade too. I mean, I know this might not be the last time y'all talk, but at least is the last of the questions that I have. And Hamza, same question to you. So what advice would you give to women who are looking to understand what Muslim men seek in a marriage?
The biggest thing that a man wants from a wife in marriage is got to be respect. Respect to, you know, she needs to respect you. That's the number one thing. And you got to earn that respect. What are you doing in the marriage, you know, that you're earning that respect? Are you, you know, are you financially providing? Are you being the head of the household? If you want respect, you have to be the head of the household. Take lead, you know, take actions, you know, and also talk to your wife. Obviously, she's going to have a 2 cents with her as well. But you have to take lead as a man, because that's one of the jobs as a man, is to take lead, and respect is the number one thing.
Go ahead and give Hamza T a round of applause as well. So before I give you guys the opportunity to put something in front of us at the table to discuss, I just want to say, first of all, shout out to the 3 young men. We got Hamza T, 20. Hamza T's 20. Got Keltrey, 22. Malek, 19. Great young fellas right here. This is all about finding the one, a Muslim man's guide to marriage expectations. You can follow us on all of our platforms, YouTube, Oz Media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Apple, and Spotify podcasts, all under Oz Media. Or you can find all those platforms on our website at ozmedia313.com. Shout out to Hanley International Academy, Holy Bowly, Wingfellas, Juice Box, Malek Kebab, Jebed Coffee House, and Royal Kebab. Those are our sponsors of the show. Fellas, before you say your final word and final comments, did we say or did we not mention something that you would like to discuss? Please bring it to the table, please. Anybody? And you guys all got the mic right now. Anything that y'all want to talk about? Like maybe I forgot to ask. Like, man, one last thing before I say.
I have one thing, but do you guys have anything?
Go ahead.
No, one thing that is important that was not introduced yet is sabr, patience. Patience, man. Patience is virtue, man. Patience, you must need patience in life. Nothing will come instantly. You can make dua, yes, but dua is never denied. It's either dua, no, I'll give you something better than what you asked for. No, I'll give you it later on. Or yes, I'll grant you it. But you got to be realistic with dua, man. You have to be realistic. You can't say to Allah, $1 billion fall out the sky. That's not realistic. That's never going to happen. But sabr, you know, sabr is the number one thing everybody should have, especially in the household. You have to have patience with kids, with your wife, because not everything is going to go to your plan. You know, you plan and Allah plans, and Allah is the best of planners. So sabr is, you have to have patience. Everything will come eventually.
Great way of saying that. And I do want to add, shout out to Hamza too. I just want to add one more thing when we were talking about keeping your mouth quiet whenever it comes to your issues within the household. I'm just going to throw this out there, and this is just numbers. I love numbers, okay? very rare will you find someone who sincerely cares and wants to help you in a positive way. A lot of people love gossip. They just want to hear your issues because they're probably dealing with issues. So they want to hear it to feel like that they're not the only ones dealing with problems. I'll give you guys this right now. I guarantee you there's probably 10% of people in this world who are in it to actually help you and sincerely guide you to the right situation. So if you were in a room of 10 people, 9 out of those 10 people don't care about you and they want you to have issues probably, and they want to hear about your problems for the wrong reasons. Very rarely you'll find that one person that actually cares. So the chances are, the person that you're talking to, I'm sorry to tell you this, based off of percentages, either they don't really care about your issues because they got their own, or they just want to hear the gossip because nowadays we live in a world that's run on a lot of gossip and a lot of talking and a lot of drama. So best advice, say this again, please just, keep everything that's happening in your house. Let us stay in your house. That's the best advice I can give you. Final word, final comments, Malek.
Man, Allahumma barik, man. You guys said it all. I ain't gonna lie. You guys are taking over the show. Alhamdulillah. Like Hamza mentioned, patience is key too. It's really important to have patience, especially in arguments. Have patience. Don't continue the arguments. Just let it sit. Just end it. There's no point in arguments. It's only gonna lead you to doing wrong, and it's like more damage in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it's like patience is key. It really is.
I love that. Caltre, final word, final comments.
All right, final words, right?
Yeah.
The moment when the Lions win the Super Bowl,
Choo.
that's when we get married.
Choo, 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 choo.
Okay.
Inshallah's next year then, Caltre. Inshallah's next year, man.
So yeah, patience is key, right? Because
Or this year, I mean. That meant like this year, but yeah.
what they say, sabrun jamilun, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it says in the Quran, I forgot which.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah. So yeah, patience is key. So patience. If you don't got no patience, then it's not gonna work. I guess people be crashing out by a simple thing. Just relax, close your eyes, pray. If something is going on, pray 2 rak'at. It's free.
Love that. Caltre. Hamza T, you're going to close us out. This was another fun show with these guys. Hamza T, final words, final comments, man.
Man, this is a really nice show. All about it. I have great guests for the show as well. Malek, Khalid. Of course, the host, Umar. You know what I'm saying? This show has been great. Everybody's show portrayed, what they want in marriage, all their values, what they expect, what is, something that they cannot compromise on. And it's been a beautiful show, man. Respect to you guys. I'm glad you guys are on the show. And that's really it. Other than that.
Yeah, I told Hamza about the show like a month ago, and he was like, I'm ready. I was like, there's no way we can cancel this show, man. Like, because it's fun, it's interesting, and it's important, man. I'm telling you, man. And inshallah, the goal is to even get others to come on the show. If it's all sisters, we'll have my sisters as the hosts. We can have a bunch of sisters here talking about what they expect. If it's another brothers, I always tell these guys, there could be people their same age that will have different answers than what they had. So we can do this again. But there's people not their age. I could have an all panel of divorced people. You know what I'm saying? That would want to sit here and talk about stuff that their answers are going to be different than your guys' answers, obviously. So, hey, y'all want to make this show happen? Let us know. This is just part 1. I can almost, inshallah, guarantee that there's going to be, another one of these episodes. Maybe not this season, maybe next season. Who knows? But, I feel like this was a good conversation, and we're here. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, this was season 4, episode 28 of Oz Media's Motivate Me 313 podcast, Finding the One, a Muslim man's guide to marriage expectations. Malek, Khalid, Hamza, shout out to Yusuf in the back. We appreciate y'all, and we'll see you all next time.